Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, but it is stupidly hot and I haven't wanted to work outside, so I've just been doing shit inside the house. I got a little bit of motivation today, and this thing is super close to driving. We have brakes now. I put the master cylinder in it. Had Tabitha come out and help me bleed them. They bled up really well. So now, because if you guys remember, this car does not have park. These Furies did not have park. They have push button transmissions, which basically just means you have neutral and a parking brake. But this parking brake does not work. So I have to disassemble it, get a creeper and a light, and slide up underneath this turd, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we are. This here is the drive shaft, obviously, but the emergency brake is on the tail shaft of the transmission. See where the cable comes in there? So I have to take these bolts here. It is dirty as hell underneath this car, so sorry. I have to take these 4 bolts out here that attach said drive shaft to the parking brake assembly and try to get that thing apart. But there's not much room down here, so I don't know how good of a video this is going to make. So I don't know. Those look like half-inch to me. What do you guys think? Let's grab some wrenches and find out. You guys aren't claustrophobic, are you? Because it's a tight fit down here. Okay, so that's a swing and a miss. They were not half-inch after all. It looks like just a regular brake drum, kinda. I'm gonna have to get another wrench and hold on to one of these nuts to get them to break loose. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, you can't put the box end of a wrench on these stupid things. Ah! Brother! That thing was tight. Sorry I sound like shit. It's Utah, so of course half the damn state's on fire. All this smoke in the air is just killing my sinuses lately. Stupid part is you have to hold it with a wrench and try to break it loose with a ratchet. Holy shit, you guys took a dive. That was a little more aggressive than it needed to be. Sorry about that. Have the 4 nuts and washers off. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's no U-joint on the front end of this drive shaft because of the way it attaches to the drum here. So that thing just collapses into itself and comes off, and now it appears, whoa, now it appears we have to take that gigantic nut in there off. I think. I don't know. I can't find any information on this drum system online. Like, I'm in a few, forums and stuff for Fury specific shit, but there's pretty much nothing about this brake system in those pages. See back here, right here on the back, that looks like it might be an adjuster bolt. So does that one right there on the bottom. but I have no idea. So I'm going to clean that nut off right there. That first one I showed you, I'm going to clean that one off and maybe try to just tighten it. See if we can get a little bit of brake action. I'm not real optimistic that that's going to work though. Update. Remove those two bolts that are in there, and this cover comes off. Up inside there, you can see the I'm trying to get the light to where you guys can see in there. You see the end of the cable, and I don't know if that's an adjuster back in there. I can't tell. It looks to me like it might be an adjuster up in there, but I don't know. I can't tell. And with that big light, I can't really see very well. So I'm going to grab my mirror and my smaller light and see if I can get a different perspective. Because looking at the brake shoes, I don't know if it's plural or singular. Like if it's one of those big I don't know if it's one of those big like wraparound shoes or if it's a pair, but look at that lining right there. It looks like there's plenty of life left on that shoe. It just seems like it's out of adjustment. So, like I said, I'm going to grab a light, my small mirror, and poke around in there and see if I can find an adjustment for that cable maybe. Because there's not an adjustment on the handle side inside the car. So I'm hoping that I can just adjust it from inside there, because I don't really want to pull all that shit apart if I don't have to, because those that brake shoe in there looked really good. So hopefully, I know I've said this like 4 times, but hopefully I can just adjust it. But look, there might be a storm coming. That's fantastic news. That means it's going to cool down a little bit out here, and we need that. I'll keep you posted. So, upon further inspection, that deal inside there, right there, in the mirror that you can see, is in fact an adjuster. I don't know how well the camera picks that up, but I'm going to grab some of my drum brake tools and crank on that a little bit and see if we can extend it out, because it needs to go that way. So I'm going to see if I can extend that out a little bit and maybe get some contact out of this park brake. That would be dandy. God damn, boys. We done it. Not sure if you guys can pick up how many fresh threads are out of that adjuster, but if we spin it, hear how we've got light contact all the way around the rotation? You see, we're not at the end of the handle yet. We still have, I don't know, 4 or 5 teeth up in there. That is dramatically better. Ow! Dramatically better than I had before, because before I could pull the handle clear to the end of the stroke and I could climb up underneath there and just spin that drum with my hand, because the shoes weren't, you know, opening all the way, or they were opening, just not far enough. So there's plenty of life left on the shoes. I got the bleeder, or I don't know why I keep calling it a bleeder. I got the adjuster all adjusted out. I probably could do a little bit more, but right now I'm not going to. But now that we know how to do it, it's going to be cake in the future if we have to do it again. So I'm going to climb up underneath here again, put that inspection cover back on, or adjustment cover, whichever you want to look at it as, and Put the drive shaft back on. Even pulled all the way out. We still got 3 clicks left. And well, guess we're climbing underneath there and adjusting a little bit. Well, no. Hold on. Now it's all the way out. Slowed down, but we still got to adjust a little bit more. So, that's okay. I'm gonna grab the 7/16 wrench, my brake spoon, slide back up underneath there, get a couple more pulls out of it. Just keep doing this until it's stopping. Okay guys, I am an idiot. If you haven't figured out why I say I'm an idiot yet, I'll explain it to you. So earlier when I pulled the handle and I got out and I spun the tire and I said, oh, it still needs some work. I adjusted it some more, and as you can see, I can barely get half of the pull, which is perfect, right? Even with that handle set all the way. This is an open differential car. The emergency brake on this car is not here. It's not a wheel brake. It is a driveline brake. So even if I were to take a pry bar and wedge it in my U-joint, I could still grab the tires and spin them because it's open differential. I'll give you a demonstration. So we'll pull the brake. Put you guys up on game here. Let's see. Watch that U-joint right there. See how the pinion doesn't move, but the tires do? This is a transmission emergency brake, like a pinion brake. This is not a wheel emergency brake. So it was probably just fine the first time I climbed out from under the car and spun the tire, but again, I'm an idiot. It just it took me a few minutes to realize this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I have fixed our emergency brake issue. Now we actually have one. We didn't have one before, so a win is a win. As I said before, we need to get this thing out of the carport because winter is coming faster than I want it to, but you know, I like to have this area open, so when one of our vehicles or one of my daughter's vehicles needs to be worked on, or you know, anything like that, I can pull it in here and be dry. That is how you adjust your emergency brake on a forward look car from the late 50s, early 60s. If you have a car with a transmission emergency brake on it, that is how you adjust it. It's pretty simple. It took me a few minutes to figure it out, but once I figured it out, easy peasy, my boy. Super happy. I did not have to take the drum assembly apart because I didn't want to. The brakes in there are great. The driveline brake is in good shape. Everything in there seems to be contaminant free from fluids, so she's ready to take for a maiden voyage, but not yet. I want to bleed the brakes up one more round. Just guys, Tabitha made these pumpkin s'more cookies. Oh my god, they're so good. Highly recommend. Anyway, I just realized that I never explained to you guys how to adjust brake shoe adjusters. So, sorry, there's weeds in it. This thing's just sitting in the yard here. on the back of your axle, sorry, this is inside. This is where it attaches to your axle. You can look in here and see the teeth on the adjuster up inside there. So typically, you can do it with a flathead screwdriver, but I have actual brake spoons. But you just stick this inside the hole or your screwdriver. You can roll it up to go one way, down to go the other. Now, I will explain that to you. So, in this case, pull the tension off of it. These are right-hand threads, or sorry, left-hand threads. So if you take it from the back side, if you adjust it down, there, I'll just do this with the actual tool. You adjust it down, because it's reverse threads, it will pull it in, which will pull your brake shoes in away from the drums, which decreases your braking force. If you turn it the other direction though, it pushes it out, which pushes out toward your drum and gives you better braking force on your drums. You adjust your spoon, you adjust your brake cylinders out, your adjusters, until you can rotate the tire and hear the drag. Or if you have like both of your tires off and you're doing a full new brake job, what I usually do is I'll tighten the adjusters up until I get, like if I spin the drum and I get one full rotation out of it before it stops, that's where I stop adjusting my brakes. Any more than that, your rear brakes become too tight and they wear out prematurely, and then they warp your drums, and it's a bad time. So, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. And if you're not, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out and allows me to keep doing this stuff. We're right close to 1,500 subscribers, so help me get there. Man, I appreciate y'all. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it for this one. Remember guys, your dreams aren't gonna work unless you do. So just because your brakes don't work doesn't mean they're defective, you know? Might just be out of adjustment. Thanks for watching, guys.